I want to talk about gentle authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is a parenting style where you have authority over your kids and you control them using punishment and rewards, making them feel bad, trying to entice them, trying to manipulate them, trying to control them. And of course, in non-coercive collaborative parenting, what I practice and what I teach and what I share, we try very hard not to do that, right? We try very hard not to do those things. But it's not only in name. We try and live that as a value. And this is really important. The reason I talk about gentle authoritarianism is there's a lot of parenting philosophies out there that talk gentle, but actually are still authoritarian. They're actually still using control and authority and hierarchy and power to control the kids. Because we have power, right? So if you can tell a kid, clean up your room, and they say no, and you say you have to clean it up, otherwise this will happen, otherwise that'll happen. You can't have this until you do that. You can't do this until that. Or if you do this, then you can do that. All of those things require a person with power doling out the permission to the person with less power, hierarchical. And you can't stop the other person from doing what they want without using that power. And so for non-coercive collaborative parenting, we avoid that at all costs. Now, if someone tells you, so let me give you an example. So I'm going to make a whole video about this, but a lot of people will say, and you hear this all the time, kids crave boundaries and structure. That's what you hear. They crave a confident adult that isn't afraid to hold boundaries even if they don't like it. Now, no kid would ever say that. This is something invented by adults to make adults feel better. No kid would ever say, oh, you know what? I actually feel safer when my parent is stopping me from doing what I want, using the force and power that they have because they're bigger and stronger than me and they have access to all the resources and I have no power. And I love it when they do that. It makes me feel so safe. No. It doesn't make them feel safe. And if you want to test it, hold a boundary that your kid doesn't like, and while they're resisting, ask them, do you feel safe with me right now? They're going to tell you no. And so if someone says to you, hey, if you hold the boundary, but you empathize with their feelings, it's still gentle. It's not gentle. It's gentle authoritarianism. It's still authoritarian because you're still using power to control your kids. Now, what's the opposite of that? Of course, it's the non-coercive collaborative parenting. So the reason I call it that is both parts are important. The non-coercive part is what we don't do, and the collaboration is what we do. It's the don't do and the do. The don't do is we don't use our power to control our kids. Now, people say, well, what about if they're going to run into the street? What about hygiene? What about food? What if they're going to touch a hot stove? From the extreme to the not extreme, it's always what about, and I agree. We have to think what about. And that's why I have almost 200 videos on my YouTube channel, and why I have written over 500 articles, and why I have quite a number of, probably close to 100 videos on my Facebook that aren't on the YouTube. I have so much content I've put out there, and some of my articles are long. I was reading one of my articles today on the gratitude response, and it's long. It's like a chapter in a book. It's a lot of information because it is hard. And to understand how to implement it is important to study and to work at. But don't just give up because you don't know what else to do. Think about it. Go deep into it, right? So we have the non-coercion. We don't control our kids, but the collaboration is what we do. We explore values together. We explore hygiene together. We explore sleep together. We explore the world that has consequences. And we explore it together in a safe, trusting, loving, joyful, connected relationship. A non-hierarchical relationship. Yes, there is some natural hierarchy in the parent-child relationship, but we resist it as much as we can. Because in traditional parenting, it's like this. In slightly less traditional, it's like this, right? And then in the early days of peaceful, gentle parenting, it's like this, or when we're just stopping punishments. And then you have common gentle parenting, which is more like this, right? It's still authoritarian, it's still hierarchical, but we're not hitting the kid, we're not locking them in their room, we're trying not to yell and scream at them, we're not taking away things as a privilege. But still there's control. Still, there's parental authority, using the power to get the result that we want, rather than engaging in a more messy, a longer term, but deeper and safer and more loving human process with our kids to explore the things that we want to explore, to learn the things that we want to learn, and to guide them in a way that feels good to them as they're being guided. It's not, if it doesn't feel like it's benefiting them, feel to them like it's benefiting them, it's not real guidance, it's control. So what I would recommend to you is, as you are consuming parenting information, and I recommend watching a lot of parenting information and reading, but have a discernment lens on and look for when someone is trying to convince you that it's okay to be authoritarian. Look for when someone's telling you it's okay to be authoritative, to be hierarchical, to use your power to coerce and control your kids, and then make it softer, make it gentler. You know, it's like my old saying says, a pretty wrapper doesn't hide a bad tasting candy. And coercion is the bad tasting candy, and we wrap it in all sorts of gentle language. So what I want to do is I want to take away the wrapper and look at, is this, if someone did this to me, if I did this to my partner or to my friend who I care deeply about, like, would they feel good about it? That's one way of checking, you know? So like taking the tablet out of your kid's hand. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because I could go on for 20 minutes or 2 hours about this, actually. But it's already 6 minutes. It's a TikTok. I'm going to stop. But please consider using the discernment for gentle authoritarianism and see what you find. And it'll open your eyes to like a whole world of information out there and how to see it in a different way. All right, everybody, thank you very much. Check out my free course called Guiding Without Controlling, which is what we were talking about, on meaningfulideas.com. And I also have a paid parenting course there as well called Recovering from a Parenting Mistake, which is really in-depth. And I invite you to check out both of those. And there's a coupon in the free one for a discount on the paid one. And also, please follow me on all the spaces. Check out my YouTube. I would love everyone to subscribe to my YouTube. I have almost 200 videos there. Some of the older ones are golden. Even though they're olden, they're still golden. And that's everything at Meaningful Ideas. And that's it. Peace out, everyone.